G'day. Okay, it is time to give my table saw a bit of an upgrade. Not the saw itself, everything that surrounds it. I'm just going to improve things, give it a little bit of width, and I'm also going to look at how I can contain the dust a little bit better. These contract saws are pretty horrendous at controlling dust. Let me show you downstairs. So currently what I've got going on is two dust extraction methods. I've always got the saw plumbed up, and I've also got this other hose running underneath to a port, but I actually blocked that port off to increase the suction on the table saw here. What I then do is knock the plug out the way and push all that dust down the hole periodically. What I want to do now is try and let all that dust fall via gravity and then make its way down to this bottom dust port. This enclosure is also going to prevent a lot of dust that explodes out the sides, which I can't catch at all as well. One thing I do hate is the amount of stuff that ends up underneath the table, gets caught in the wheels. I'm probably not going to move this a hell of a lot, so I'm actually just going to build something directly onto the ground. I'm fogging up, so I'm going to stop talking. I've got just over 1 metre to play with where I can figure out this dust chute, if you will, to achieve what I'm trying to achieve. Make sense? Doesn't make sense to me yet.
Okay, knocking together a quick frame. This is actually the only timber that I actually purchased, but it is leftover from another job, so technically recycled.
Okay, so I'm just knocking up a basic frame. I've got this drawer cabinet. That's going to start things off for me to get them nice and square. I'm now going to build up here, and this area in here will be the V for the gravity for the dust.
So at this stage, just covering every surface with melamine. The beauty of it, it's always nice and square. I'm just screwing in from the outside edge. It's going to get loads of strength as all these pieces start to screw in and lock themselves together.
Okay, little update, because it's obviously very exciting watching me screw melamine together. So I've basically made myself a box, double thickness, front and back, that can take the table saw legs. So what, just mucking around, just sliding it back, it creates an opening under here. I actually saw a similar idea on Mehmet's channel. I'll stick that up here. Basically I'm just going to create a sled, so all the gravity stuff is going to fall down there. From there I'm going to figure out some other sort of funnel system to get the dust to the port, which is going to be down the bottom. Okay, I'm over here. So this is the basic skeleton, which I'm going to slowly enclose all of this stuff to start to capture as much of this dust as possible. So the main gravity stuff's going to fall down there. When I seal this up as well, I may even leave a void, just so more of that stuff that's pumping out this way has somewhere to fall again down into that trap. That's the plan. We'll see what it turns out like in the end. Alright, so t-shirt sponsor shout out is Kilby from username Grain. Go and check him out on Instagram. I'm also going to put a link to his website down below where you can pick up his cool t-shirts, such as this one. Cheers, buddy. It's not turned on, but I'll just put the blade down, just in case. Alrighty, so I've got the basic cabinet in, and I've got my saw locked in with a few spacers. There's a few other bits and pieces to go. I've just disassembled my old workbench. It's a little bit of an end of an era thing for me. That was the first thing I made just to see if I liked woodworking. Here I am, fully addicted. Anyway, I've just plumbed up the old dust hose. I've just chucked that one in so I can keep building around what I've got going on here so far.
I'll tell you, this stuff is really great for shop projects. You know, it's dead flat, it's dead square. Just mark it off against itself or reference it against itself, and it's always good to go. They're just cutting the hole for the bottom dust port. Still unsure whether I'll get away with running both.
Okay, so I've cut these two pieces for the chute, and I've been wondering how I was going to attach it all, but I've just cut them to exactly the right size that they hold themselves there. They've got nowhere to move now. Put the capping piece on, with a dust hole good to go, happy days. I don't handle noise at all. Neither does the neighbour, apparently. I'll bring the camera over here. I lost the footage of this stuff, so just let me show you what I've got going on in here. Okay, here's my angled board. That screw there was just to help position it underneath this front lip. As you can see, all the dust is starting to flow down to end up at that port down the bottom. So that outer casing as well, dust can also fall down the back there. This piece now can't come out because I've put this side panel in, which again is stopping dust from going that way. This side, the saw is up against it, so that's all good there. Okay, so it does look a little bit rude because I've used every piece of recycled melamine scrap that I've got in the shed, but it's working, it's neat, it's square, and it's coming along nicely. One of the things that drives me a little bit crazy with this particular saw is a little bit of sawdust can cause these slides to bind up. So this thing has to be able to come in and out really easily and really quickly. I'll show you how to clean those slides up right at the end of the video, if you're interested. So it's very usable at this point. I'm just chucking 2 screws in on the front of the table saw just to stop it lifting. I'll come up with a quick release mechanism down the track. Okay, just whipped up this random piece that'll slide in this side of the saw, which has a little bit more space, so I can unlock my fence. It'll also give a little slot for my push stick. So that one's gonna go in here. Once I figure out what I'm gonna do around the front, this whole box is pretty much now enclosed. I'll come up with something to cover this so it moves around. Don't really know what that is yet, but we'll get there.
Okay, you would have just seen this side bench because the footage is a little bit out of whack. I've knocked up some melamine framework again, and I've got some scrap plywood which is in really good condition, so that's going on the top. I'm then going to get to work on an outfeed. So I've got all this nice hardwood left over because it'd be nice if the bench can take a little bit of a beating as well. So I am going to make it pretty solid. So just doing this normal routine to cut out some half flaps using the table saw and the bandsaw. That works pretty quick and efficiently, and it keeps the profile nice and low as well. Alrighty, not the tightest half flaps I've ever cut, check square, but it will be fine. The tight bond has locked it all in. There's some other ways I'm going to secure this to the rest of the cabinet. This thing is, seriously, it's not going to move, so I'm more than happy with it.
I've got my outfeed top mounted on these tall rails. So now I can raise and lower this table as required, and then just screw it into place and it should be good to go.
Okay, with the top nice and level, I've set myself up a rail here, and I'm going to cut some slots for my crosscut sled and all my other bits and pieces that need to slide through the grooves. Got a bit of Tassie oak left over, so I'm putting a bit of trimming around everything. That'll make it a bit more secure and stable and also look pretty cool.
Okay, quite lacking with the chisel skills. We all know that. Working on it, working on it.
Yep, I know I'm going the wrong way, and I am doing it this way because with it vertical, the bearing was dropping into those screw holes.
I've still got my original plumbing hooked up to the table saw. It's doing the job just fine. I will just make this a bit better so I can actually use this space under here in the future. But it's up and running now. I can get back into some more furniture building. So what I've achieved, I've got a nice dust enclosure with gravity and 2 ports for dust extraction on this saw. Doesn't solve any of the dust that you get from the top of the saw. I can live with that. I can just manage that as required. So what I've also got now is some nice stable outfeed, a bit more bench space. I've got some side feed or some side support. What I've got to do in the future, I want to set up this right hand side with a router, and also want to set up myself a little bit of in-feed for when I am sending the big stuff through. Just having that bit of extra support in front of the saw blade really does make a difference to this contractor saw. I'm just going to chuck on a little bit of wipe-on poly on this just to protect it, and I can get stuck into it. things I do need to do in the future is make a zero clearance insert for this. I'm also going to look at an extension fence or a new one of those to make it a little better, and maybe that'll time with the in-feed. I don't really know yet. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've given you something to think about how you can collect dust with these particular saws, because they are horrendous. Okay, me again. So just a quick walk around. I've now got my press fitted underneath this side of the bench where it used to live under my workbench. I'm building a new workbench, so I don't want that to live under it. I want to have better storage under the workbench. Outfeed, loving that. Dust, like I said, we're going to sort that out. Okay, we'll get this side router area sorted, and I'll look at a way that I can hang my crosscut sled under the side here, because that's pretty good too. All right, here's the front here. Like I said, I want to build some in-feed, but I just need to look at how I can make sure I can manipulate everything safely. Okay, so just one more thing. I am going to build another crosscut sled as well, but at the moment, having some more side feed just allows me a little bit more support if I'm working on some longer pieces, especially when I'm doing stuff right on the end, like these tenons. The final thing, the height of this, I'm 6'2", so it is nice to have a bench up a little bit higher, but I've now got this main surface above the height of my miter station over here. So for the really long stuff, I can now pass through. I'm not hitting on the miter saw or the edge of that bench. So I really have made this space a lot more useful for myself, given I'm in a pretty tight little work area. All right, I'm actually going this time. Thanks for watching. Oh, Splinter. See you later. Alrighty, just ignore what's going on here. I'm just giving it a coat of paint. Now let me show you why I need to be able to get this saw in and out nice and easy. It's because you've got to clean the slides to stop this thing binding up. Happens every few months, and it's really annoying when you start to feel that happening. So again, just a couple of screws holding this down. I'm going to make something that's a little bit more quick release and quicker again. Disconnect the dust. Let me bring in here and I'll show you the two culprits if you have tuned in to see why this particular saw does bind up quite easy. Okay, so give everything a good clean, but the two culprits are these stainless steel slides. There's one there and there's one hiding behind that thread. So clean those as best as possible, blow out all the dust, then just apply some sort of dry lube. And normally that's all you got to do. Keep the rest of it pretty clean while you're here, but they are the culprits. Okay, final little thing I'll point out. See, I cut the 45° on that outfeed table. That is so I can get the fence back on. So the little black clips to lock it on the rails, they've got to be able to lift up and down. So they're out there right on the edge. All right, see you later.